The moment Felicia saw those three letters written in thick black marker on the back of her white polo shirt, her hand started shaking like a leaf in the wind. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Someone had signed her death on her own shirt, right there between all the beautiful messages from her classmates. Her heart beat so fast she thought it would jump out of her chest. She didn't know it yet, but in the next few days, she would fight for her life against something dark and evil. Something that came from someone she thought was her friend. But let me take you back to where it all started, because you need to understand how we got here.
Welcome to African Tales by Nsina. Sit back, relax, and let the story begin.
2 months before graduation, everyone in Gateway University knew Felicia's name. She wasn't just smart, she was the smartest student in the entire school. Her CGPA was 4.95 out of 5. Nobody had ever gotten that high in the history of the computer science department. Lecturers loved her. Students respected her. Even the vice chancellor knew her name. Felicia came from a small community called Ajegunle in Lagos. Her mother sold food by the roadside to pay for her education. Every morning before sunrise, her mama would wake up, light the kerosene stove, and start cooking rice and stew to sell. The money was small, but her mother never complained. She would always say, "My daughter, education is the key. One day, you will change our story." And Felicia was about to change that story. Big time. A scholarship was waiting for her in Canada. A full scholarship to study her master's degree. Everything paid for school fees, house rent, feeding money, everything. The university had already told her she was the chosen one. All she needed to do was graduate, and her life would change forever. Her mother would never have to wake up at 4 a.m. again. Her younger brothers would go to good schools. Everything was about to be beautiful. Her friends would gather around her in the cafeteria during lunch break, talking about her bright future. "Felicia, when you reach Canada, don't forget us," her friend Joy would say, laughing. "Please, when you land, send us pictures of snow." "I've never seen snow before in my life," another friend, Chioma, would add. Felicia would smile, feeling blessed. She worked hard for this. So many nights she stayed awake reading when others were sleeping. So many times she said no to parties and hangouts. She sacrificed everything for her education. And now, it was paying off. But not everyone was happy for her. Melody was also from Ajegunle. Same community, same small streets, same struggle. She and Felicia even went to the same primary school back in the day. They were in the same department, same class, same everything. But while Felicia was graduating with a 4.95 CGPA, Melody was graduating with a 2.89, almost a third class. Melody tried to be happy for Felicia. She really tried. But every time someone praised Felicia, something bitter grew in Melody's heart. Every time a lecturer said, "Why can't you people be like Felicia?" in class, Melody would squeeze her fists under the table. Every time she heard about the Canada scholarship, her stomach would turn. It got worse when they went home for a short break, 2 weeks before their final exams. Melody was sitting outside their small apartment in Ajegunle, plaiting her sister's hair, when she heard the women talking at the water pump across the street. "You see Felicia's mother?" one woman said loudly. "That woman's suffering has finally paid off. Her daughter has made it. I heard the girl has a 4-point-something CGPA. First class with distinction. And scholarship to Canada too. Ah, God is good. That woman will show off when the girl graduates." Another woman laughed. "She'll wear the finest lace and gold, mark my words." Melody's hands froze in her sister's hair. Her chest felt tight. Her eyes burned. That evening, when her mother came back from the market, Melody was sitting in the dark, just staring at nothing. Her mother turned on the lights and looked at her daughter. Really looked at her. Then she said something that broke Melody completely. "Melody, are you not ashamed of yourself?" Melody looked up, confused. "Mama," I said, "are you not ashamed?" That small girl whose mother sells food by the roadside. She has passed you. She has made her mama proud. And you, what did you bring home? 2 point something CGPA? Her mother's voice was rising. You know when that woman gets her daughter's graduation photo, she'll carry it everywhere. She'll show everybody. And people will look at me and ask, what did your own daughter graduate with? What will I tell them? That you nearly failed? Tears rolled down Melody's cheeks. Mama, I tried. You tried? Her mother cut her off. If you tried, you would have gotten first class too. Both of you grew up in the same place. Both of you have the same brain. But she used hers well, and you wasted yours. That night, Melody cried herself to sleep. But by morning, the sadness had turned into something else. Something dark. Something dangerous. She didn't want to pray for her own success anymore. She wanted Felicia to fail. She wanted Felicia to suffer. She wanted Felicia to lose everything, so people would stop comparing them. 3 days before their final exams, Melody took a bus to a place she had only heard about in whispers. A place deep in the outskirts of Lagos, where herbalists and native doctors lived. The place was hidden behind tall trees and bushes. The smell of strange herbs and burning incense filled the air. An old man, with tribal marks on his face, sat under a tree. His eyes were yellow, like old paper. I need help, Melody said quietly. The old man smiled, showing brown teeth. What kind of help? There's someone who's taking everything that should be mine. I want her to lose everything. The herbalist's smile grew wider. You want her to die? Melody's heart jumped. Die? She hadn't thought about it like that. But then she remembered her mother's words. She remembered how people praised Felicia. She remembered the scholarship, the bright future, everything that should have been hers. I just want her to suffer, Melody whispered. The old man went inside his small hut and came back with a black marker. It looked normal, like any marker you could buy in a store. But something about it felt wrong. It felt cold, heavy. This is not an ordinary marker, the herbalist said. Anything you write with this on someone's body or their property, it will come to pass. But you must write it on something they will touch or wear. And you must write it during a time when many people are around, so nobody will suspect you. Melody's hands shook as she collected the marker. How much? When it works, you will come back and pay me well. She wrapped the marker in a black cloth and put it in her bag. Her heart was pounding, but she didn't feel guilty. She felt powerful. Finally, she had a way to bring Felicia down. The day for the final exams came. Felicia wrote brilliantly, like she always did. Melody barely wrote, but she didn't care anymore. She had a plan. Then came the signing out after everyone had finished their exams. All graduating students wore white polo shirts and brought colorful markers to sign on each other's shirts. They would write sweet messages, draw funny pictures, and celebrate the end of their university journey. It was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives. The whole department gathered in front of the faculty building. Music was playing. People were laughing, hugging, crying, happy tears. Felicia wore her white polo with pride. She had written, Gateway University 2024, Graduate First Class, on the front in gold marker. Students lined up to sign her shirt. Everyone wanted to sign for Felicia, the superstar. Felicia, you're amazing. Congratulations, genius. Canada, here she comes. Felicia was smiling so wide her cheeks hurt. She turned around so people could sign the back of her shirt too. There were so many people pushing and shoving, trying to get close to her. So many markers in so many hands. That's when Melody made her move. She pushed through the crowd with the evil marker hidden in her palm. Her heart was beating like a drum. Nobody was paying attention to her. All eyes were on Felicia. Perfect. Melody squeezed closer. She uncapped the marker. And in the middle of all the beautiful messages, in thick black letters, she wrote R.I.P. Rest in peace. She capped the marker quickly and disappeared into the crowd. Her hands were sweating. Her whole body was shaking. But it was done. The signing went on for another hour. Felicia's shirt was covered in colors and messages and drawings. She was so happy, she didn't even check what people wrote. She just kept turning around, laughing, taking pictures. Finally, when the sun started to set, people began to go home. Felicia packed her things and started walking to the bus stop. She couldn't wait to show her mother the signed polo. Her mama would frame it and hang it on the wall. When she got home, her mother was waiting outside their small apartment, already wearing her best wrapper, even though graduation was still 1 month away. My daughter, her mother screamed, running to hug her. Let me see, let me see. Felicia carefully removed the polo and spread it out on the table. Her mother's eyes filled with tears as she read all the beautiful messages. Congratulations. You inspire me. The sky is just your starting point. But then, her mother's smile froze. Her fingers stopped moving across the shirt. She was staring at something. Felicia. Her mother's voice was shaking. What? What is this? Felicia came closer. What, Mama? Her mother pointed at the back of the shirt with a trembling finger. There, in thick black letters, between all the beautiful messages, were 3 letters that made Felicia's blood run cold. R.I.P. The room started spinning. Felicia grabbed the shirt and looked closer, hoping she was seeing wrong. But no, it was there, clear as day. Someone had signed her death on her own shirt. Who? Who did this? Felicia whispered, tears filling her eyes. Who signed this? Her mother's face had gone pale. She knew what this meant. In their culture, in their community, this was not a joke. This was a curse. This was evil. Someone wanted her daughter dead. Give me your phone, her mother said quickly. Her voice was no longer shaking. It was strong now, determined. Felicia handed her the phone with shaking hands. She watched her mother dial a number. Their pastor. The same pastor who had been praying for them for years. Pastor, we have a serious problem, her mother began. But before she could finish, Felicia felt something strange. A sharp pain shot through her stomach. Then her head started pounding like someone was hitting it with a hammer. Mama, she whispered, I don't feel good. And then, everything went black. Felicia opened her eyes 3 days later in a hospital bed. Her body felt like it was on fire. Every part of her hurt. Her head, her stomach, her chest, everything was burning with pain. She's awake. She's awake. Her mother's voice broke through the fog in her mind. Felicia tried to sit up, but she was too weak. Her mother rushed to her side, tears streaming down her face. Mama, what happened to me? Felicia's voice came out as a weak whisper. Her mother held her hand tight. You collapsed 3 days ago, my daughter. Right after we saw that evil thing on your shirt. You've been unconscious ever since. The doctors ran so many tests, but they couldn't find anything wrong with you. They said all your results came back normal, but you were burning with fever, shaking, and calling out in your sleep. Felicia's mind was spinning. She remembered seeing the R.I.P. on her shirt. She remembered the pain, then nothing. Where's the shirt? Felicia asked suddenly. I burned it. Her mother said firmly. I burned it the same night, but burning it didn't stop what was happening to you. That's when I knew this was not ordinary sickness. This was spiritual attack. A nurse came in to check Felicia's temperature and blood pressure. Everything was still high. The nurse looked worried but tried to smile. The doctor will come see you soon, the nurse said before leaving. When they were alone again, Felicia's mother moved closer and lowered her voice. Felicia, listen to me carefully. That night you collapsed. I called Pastor Emmanuel immediately. He came to our house at midnight with 3 other prayer warriors. They prayed over you for hours. They said someone has done evil against you, someone who is jealous of your success. Felicia's heart sank. Who would do such a thing to me, Mama? I haven't hurt anybody. I mind my business. I just study hard and that's exactly why, her mother interrupted. When you shine too bright, some people's darkness becomes more visible. They can't stand to see you succeed while they remain where they are. Felicia started crying. All her dreams, all her hard work, all those sleepless nights studying, was someone really trying to destroy everything because of jealousy? But Mama, my graduation is on a month time. The scholarship people are waiting for my certificate. What if? What if I die before graduation? Her mother squeezed her hand even tighter. You will not die, you hear me? The pastor and I have been praying without stopping. We've been fasting. We've been calling on the name of Jesus. And I'm telling you now, whatever evil they sent to you will return to the sender 7 times stronger. Those words hung in the air like thunder. Meanwhile, across town in Ajegunle, Melody was celebrating. She had heard through the grapevine that Felicia collapsed on signing out day and had been rushed to the hospital. The news spread fast in their small community. Some people were sad, some were shocked. But Melody, she was happy. She lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling, smiling. Finally, Felicia would know what it felt like to lose everything. Finally, people would stop comparing them. Finally, her mother would stop making her feel worthless. Melody, her mother called from the living room. Come and eat. Melody got up and went to the dining table. Her mother had prepared rice and stew. As Melody sat down to eat, her mother said, I heard Felicia is in the hospital. Very serious condition. They say the doctors can't find what's wrong with her. Melody tried to keep her face normal. Oh, really? That's sad. Her mother looked at her. Yes, very sad. That poor girl was about to change her family's life completely. And now this. Her mother must be heartbroken. Melody said nothing. She just ate her food, feeling satisfied inside. But that night, something strange happened. Melody woke up at 2 and feeling cold. Very cold. Like someone had poured ice water all over her body. She pulled her blanket tighter, but the coldness wouldn't go away. It was coming from inside her. Then she heard it. A whisper. Right next to her ear. Why did you do it? Melody's eyes flew open. Her room was dark except for the small light coming from the street through her window. There was nobody there. She was alone. I'm just dreaming, she whispered to herself. Just a bad dream. She closed her eyes again. But the whisper came back, louder this time. Why did you want her dead? Melody sat up straight in bed, her heart pounding. Who's there? She called out. Silence. She lay back down, telling herself it was just her imagination. But deep down, she knew. She knew something was wrong. The next morning, Melody woke up with a terrible headache. Her whole body ached like she had been in a fight. She dragged herself to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. She gasped. Her eyes were red, blood red, and there were strange dark marks on her neck, like someone had tried to choke her in her sleep. What? What is this? She touched the marks and winced. They hurt. She quickly covered her neck with a scarf and went out. Her mother was already at the market. Good. She didn't want her mother asking questions. Melody tried to go about her day normally, but things kept getting worse. Her headache became so bad she could barely see. Her stomach started cramping, and the whispers wouldn't stop. Confess. Confess what you did. Confess. By evening, Melody was shaking with fear. She locked herself in her room, but it didn't help. The voice followed her everywhere. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, something miraculous was happening. Felicia was getting better, slowly but surely. The fever was going down. The pain was reducing. The doctors were amazed. Just that morning, they had told her mother to prepare for the worst. But now, Felicia was sitting up, eating, talking. It's a miracle, one doctor said, shaking his head. I've never seen anything like this. Yesterday she was at death's door, and today she's recovering like she just had a common cold. Felicia's mother knew it wasn't the medicine, it was the prayers. She had been praying without stopping. She had called every prayer warrior she knew. They had been interceding, binding, and casting, calling on the blood of Jesus to cover her daughter. And it was working. On the 5th day, Felicia was discharged from the hospital. She was still weak, but she was alive. And most importantly, she was going to graduate. Her mother brought her home and made her favorite soup, pepper soup, with plenty of fish and goat meat. As Felicia ate, her mother sat across from her, watching her with eyes full of love and relief. Mama, Felicia said between bites, I still don't understand who would do this to me. Who hates me that much? Her mother sighed. The pastor said the person will reveal themselves. Evil cannot hide forever. It always comes to light. As if on cue, Felicia's phone rang. It was a number she didn't recognize. Hello? Felicia? The voice on the other end was shaking, crying. It's Melody. Felicia sat up straight. Melody? They were classmates from the same community, but they weren't close friends. Why was Melody calling her? And why was she crying? Melody? What's wrong? I need to tell you something. Can I come to your house? Please. It's urgent. Felicia looked at her mother, confused. Her mother's face had gone serious. She nodded, slowly. Okay, come. 20 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Felicia's mother opened it. Melody stood there, and both Felicia and her mother gasped. Melody looked terrible. Her eyes were red and swollen. Her face was pale. She had marks all over her neck and arms. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Come in, Felicia's mother said quietly. Melody walked in slowly, like every step hurt. She couldn't even look at Felicia. When she finally sat down, she broke down completely, crying like a child. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please. Felicia felt her blood run cold. Melody, what are you talking about? Melody looked up with tears streaming down her face. It was me. I did it. I wrote R.I.P. on your shirt. The room went completely silent. Felicia couldn't breathe. Her mother's hand flew to her mouth. I was jealous, Melody continued, her voice breaking. Everyone kept praising you. Everyone kept comparing us. My mother said I should be ashamed because you did better than me. I went to see an herbalist. He gave me an evil marker. He said anything I write with it would come true. So on signing out day, I wrote R.I.P. on your shirt. I wanted you to fail. I wanted you to lose everything. I wanted you to die. Felicia felt like someone had punched her in the stomach. Melody? Her classmate? Someone from her own community? Someone whose struggles she understood because they came from the same place? But now, Melody was crying harder now. Everything I sent to you has come back to me. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I see terrible things. I hear voices telling me to confess. My body is covered in marks. I'm in so much pain. The herbalist said the only way to break the curse is if I confess to you and beg for your forgiveness. Please, Felicia, please forgive me. I don't want to die. Please. Felicia's mother stood up, her face filled with righteous anger. You wanted to kill my daughter? You wanted to destroy her future because of jealousy? Do you know we almost lost her? Do you know she was unconscious for 3 days? Do you know the doctor said, Mama, please. Felicia said softly, placing her hand on her mother's arm. She looked at Melody, really looked at her. This girl was broken, destroyed. Whatever evil she had sent out had returned to her, just like her mother said it would. Felicia thought about everything she had learned in church, about forgiveness, about mercy, about how holding on to anger and bitterness only hurts you in the end. She took a deep breath. Melody, Felicia said quietly, what you did was evil. You tried to kill me because of jealousy. You almost destroyed everything I worked for. But I forgive you. Melody looked up, shocked. You forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because holding on to anger will only poison my own heart. I forgive you, and I pray that God will have mercy on you. The moment those words left Felicia's mouth, something shifted in the room. It was like a heavy weight had been lifted. Melody collapsed on the floor, sobbing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'll never do anything like this again. Never. After Melody left, Felicia sat down, exhausted. Her mother came and sat beside her, pulling her into a tight hug. I'm so proud of you, her mother whispered. You chose forgiveness when you had every right to be angry. That's true strength. Mama, I just want to graduate and move on with my life. Holding on to what Melody did will only stop me from moving forward. 2 weeks later, graduation day arrived. Felicia walked across that stage with her head held high. She received her certificate with a 4.95 CGPA, the highest in the school's history. The whole auditorium stood up and applauded. Her mother cried tears of joy in the audience. The vice-chancellor himself called Felicia's name 3 times and said, "This is what dedication and hard work look like. This young woman is proof that your background does not determine your future." 3 months later, Felicia was on a plane to Canada. Her scholarship had come through. Everything had worked out exactly as it was supposed to. As the plane took off, Felicia looked out the window at Lagos, getting smaller and smaller below her. She thought about everything that had happened. The jealousy, the evil, the sickness, the prayer, the recovery, the forgiveness. She realized something important. People will always be jealous of your success. Some will try to bring you down. Some will even try to destroy you. But if you stay focused on your goals, if you surround yourself with prayer and positive people, if you choose forgiveness over bitterness, nothing and no one can stop your destiny. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to African Tales by Encina for more powerful folk tales, emotional stories, and unforgettable lessons. Your support helps us create more amazing content. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode.